Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea from David R. Hawkins's book, Letting Go. It's basically a method for releasing all those negative feelings and stuck beliefs that, let's be honest, hold us all back from living the life we really want.
I mean, who hasn't, right? Whether it's that knot of anxiety in your stomach, a flash of anger, or just that general feeling of being, well, stuck. We've all been cornered by our own feelings. The real question is, what do we do about it?
Well, according to Hawkins, most of us get caught in this kind of emotional prison. And it's because we tend to handle these tough feelings in three super common but ultimately pretty useless ways. These reactions just keep that vicious cycle going. Okay, let's get into it. So first there's suppression, just shoving the feeling down, pretending it's not there, and hoping it'll just magically disappear. Then you've got expression, where we vent, we lash out, we act on the feeling, which, ironically, just pours more fuel on the fire. And finally, we have escaping, using any distraction we can find, work, TV, social media, to just avoid feeling anything at all. Sound familiar? So to find a better path, Hawkins created what he calls the map of consciousness. You can think of it like a guide to the energy levels of our emotions, from the ones that totally drain us to the ones that make us feel powerful. Let's start at the bottom of that scale. Right at the very bottom, you have apathy. This is the dead end. It's that state of total helplessness where you're just governed by this paralyzing thought, I can't. It's a place of victimhood where any kind of change feels absolutely impossible. Moving up just a little bit, we find grief. This is all about sadness and loss. It keeps us completely chained to the past, constantly replaying what we've lost instead of being able to move into the future. And next up is fear. Hawkins calls this the world's most common emotion, and it's easy to see why. It shows up as anxiety, as constant worry, even paranoia, and it just dramatically shrinks our world by keeping us focused on everything that could possibly go wrong. Now, pride is a fascinating one. You'd think it's a positive, right? But Hawkins frames it as this really fragile defensive state. See, all your energy is spent protecting your image, which makes you incredibly vulnerable to criticism because your sense of self depends entirely on the outside world, not on genuine inner strength. But here's the good news. The whole point of this map is to show that we are not stuck in these low energy states. We can actually, consciously, choose to climb this ladder into more powerful, more positive ways of being. And this chart just shows that shift so clearly. Look at this. You move from being driven by fear and a sense of lack to being powered by courage and love. You stop draining your energy and you actually start generating it. It's a shift from being reactive and defensive to becoming creative and open. It's a total game changer. And courage is that big turning point. This is the first truly positive state. It's where your core belief finally switches from I can't to I can. This is where personal power, real growth, and the willingness to face challenges, that's where it all begins. Moving up from courage, we get to acceptance. This is where you stop fighting reality and you start working with it. There's this sense of harmony, of security. And this is the level where true self-love can actually start, because you're taking full responsibility for your own journey. And from there, we can move into a state of love. Now, Hawkins is clear this isn't just about romantic love for another person. It's a fundamental way of being. It's a state where forgiveness and nurturing and affection just naturally radiate out from you to everything and everyone. And then we get to the absolute peak, unconditional love, a state of oneness with everything. It is so profound that, according to Hawkins, it's experienced by, well, just look at this number, 0.04% of the population. Just an incredibly rare and powerful state of being. So, how do we actually climb this ladder? The tool is the technique of surrender, what he calls letting go. It sounds almost too simple, but it's incredibly profound. The idea is to just allow a feeling to be there. When it comes up, you don't judge it, you don't resist it, and you definitely don't try to change it. You just sit with the raw energy of the feeling and let it run its course until it runs out of steam. It's all about dropping the story around the feeling and just experiencing the energy itself. And the payoff for doing this is huge. Practicing this surrender frees up all that energy that was trapped holding down negativity. Your thoughts naturally start to shift. You'll find that real answers to your problems just start to surface on their own, and you'll begin to reevaluate your life from a place of courage instead of fear.
And when you consistently apply this simple technique, it can literally transform the three biggest areas of your life: your health, your wealth, and your happiness. Let's take a quick look at how. When it comes to health, we start to let go of the constant fear and worry about our bodies. We stop identifying as our body and we realize we have a body. We understand that the real power is in the mind, which can create the conditions for the body to heal itself. With wealth, we stop seeing money as the end goal. Instead, we work on letting go of those feelings of lack and insecurity. And what happens is, money becomes a natural byproduct of cultivating inner worth and self-respect, rather than something we have to desperately chase after. And finally, happiness. By letting go, we free ourselves from that constant draining need for approval from others. We stop letting ourselves be manipulated by society's pressures. And in that freedom, we can finally love ourselves, and by extension others, for who we truly are. So as we wrap this up, the real question isn't just about understanding this map, it's about actually using it. So just think about it for a second. If you could start today, what is the one feeling that you are most ready to let go of?